Hello, my name's Sally Bourner and I facilitate the Woven by Us workshops, which are hosted by Fabrica Gallery and take place at Woodingdean Medical Centre. Woven by Us sessions are textile based workshops where people can come and experiment with new processes, share their own skills and meet new people. So in this video, I'm inviting you to explore fabric coiling, which is a really nice process. You can use any material around your own home. So in the video, I'm using an old pillowcase and a plastic bag, but really anything works. And also, this is very much a starting point. It's an invitation to experiment with a new process, and there really isn't a right or a wrong way to do that. Cut your fabric into wide strips. I think the wider, the easier it is to coil with. Starting at one end of a strip, tie a knot. And then push your needle up through the centre of the knot, kind of where the gaps are, so you're not really threading through any fabric. Start to twist your fabric, and as you twist, you can wrap it or wind it around the knot that you've just made, sort of coil it around the knot that you've just made. And this is where you can use your pegs to hold it all in place while you're sewing. Catching the edge or layer that you've just wrapped around your knot, you can now go back up through the centre of the knot to bind that layer on. And just keep repeating this process until your new layer is bound quite tightly in place. When you come to the end of your layer, you can just repeat that winding and twisting process to build up a new layer around the edge. This time, instead of binding the new layer into the middle of the knot, you can bind it to the layer that went before it, just pushing up through the gaps in between the fabric layers, which would be a bit easier than pushing through the fabric itself. And you can just keep repeating this process to get the size that you would like. You can add in other materials, either by twisting them in like I am here, or by adding them as a whole separate layer to get different patterns or textures. When your fabric strip ends, you can just add another strip into the twist and then use your peg to hold it in place while you stitch it in. Coiling can stay flat if you just keep building outwards, or you can make it quite sculptural. If you want to build upwards, Just build your next layer on top of your last rather than to the side. To finish the coil, just bind that loose edge in the same way that you have before, binding it with the thread to the layer that came before it. You can finish the coil in whatever way makes most sense to you. I've just pushed the needle back through a few layers of the coil and then tied a knot in a discrete spot. Using this process, you can build flat structures to make wall hangings or placemats. If you build upwards, like in this video, you can create pots or bowls, or you can experiment in different directions with different forms to make quite abstract sculptures.